Alright guys, I'm showing you a little bit of the reflex bag work today. We went all the way up to the gym. We got that damn music up so loud. We haven't shouted each other to hear each other's voice. Anyway, we're going to do some work here at the house. It'll probably be some body weight squats, some push-ups or something, because we're always working irrespective of it. But that just threw our day into chaos, and it's just always something. And I'm going to show you a couple of things before Joe gets started on his calisthenics that you'll do well to be able to adapt to and use in the ring. Today you're only getting one fight style. You go in, you're doing what you practice to do. There's rarely contingency plans, and we're going to show you some things to do. So, all right, guys, Joe's gonna do some calisthenics today. I'm gonna show you something, and you'll be able to see him, even though he's gonna be to the back side of this reflex bag. You have got to have contingency plans in boxing, and we're going to show you a couple of ours. Well, we're going to show you one of ours. Number one, I'm going to tell you what you have to do. You have got to jab. You have got to jab. This in Billy Martinez, right? If you watch the undercard, but it was on the main portion of the undercard, so it'd be on the Netflix portion of Billy fighting Martinez for the Continental Super Middleweight Championship or the interim WBC Championship. And Billy might have threw one jab the whole fight, maybe two. That fight ended up being a draw. Joe can fight like either one of those guys. They fought on the inside 98% of the time as well. But Billy would have easily have won that fight had he had stayed off just for a few moments of time in each round and got his jab in. And he was lower, he was short. That jab should have came up and went into him. Now Joe's going to show you how to go in on the guy and get out. And he could have done this. Both of them could have done this. If either of them would have done 20 seconds in a round combined into this, and what Joe's doing, all he's doing, he's taking a step in, go in with a 1-2, go out. Again, 1-2, out. He's taking a step in and going out. This is our fall back to stuff. It's almost as like Bivol. A lot of you guys, we just call it boxing, but a lot of you today, because y'all don't know what boxing is, call it Soviet style. And just like you call the Philly shell, which if you go listen to, I forget the guy's name, he's a good friend of ours on Facebook and YouTube, former world heavyweight champion, 2-time. He's like, where'd all this Philly shell thing come in? It was just called the shell. And the boxing IQ is going downhill, folks, with all of them. Even the greatest chess players of the game. Bud Crawford did nothing really great and spectacular. He's our favorite U.S. fighter, leaps and bounds. Probably our favorite fighter out of all of them, actually. And who's the other guy, Usyk, that they, they're good, they're great, yeah, for this time. But back in my day, we used to fight. You go back and you look at these at these fights, they were 15 rounds, and these guys would go nonstop for 15 rounds. Guys today can't make it 10 on the undercard. Well, we saw 2 fights on this one that went 10 rounds like crazy. The one fight, which would have been, you can see it on Ring Magazine's YouTube channel, those 2 guys, you just go watch it, you find the 2 guys fighting at 154 pounds. By the end of the 6th round, they both had thrown over 600 punches. In 6 rounds, folks, each one of them threw 100 punches every round. See, both of them, not one of them. And you're lucky today if you've got 40 punches thrown on a round with 50% connect rate. So we're not doing any of that. What we're doing around here is way different. Yet it is nothing new under the sun. It's old school. So, Joe, if you want to just push this back and start thinking about getting started or whatever. I'm gonna cut this. Hopefully you guys hear me. And I'm gonna put a mic on. So we'll be back with you in just a second. All right, guys, we're back. Joe's gonna be doing a host of exercises, and I'm going to be doing a talking to you while he's working. We had a terrible day. We went up in the gym. Come here, Joe. I'm having to do this and shout in Joe's ear or him in my ear. The music's so loud. Some of the big guys in there, physically huge guys, I got a hold of one of them and said, you need to be ashamed of your damn self. And that guy wasn't used to being talked to like that. But see, that's how I rock and that's how I roll. I tell you, I live this. I live what I'm telling you guys. You got to carry yourself with authority. If you're in chaos and confusion, you got to do your best to separate yourself from it. Sometimes we're married to people, you don't want to be married. Sometimes maybe you have a problem child or one of your parents is bad. It can be a whole host of things that you can't cleanly just cut the cord on. But with things like a gym or, you sending your kids down to a schoolhouse where they're doing drugs and teaching them how to hate God, you best learn to separate from that. And anyway, I had it out with the gym people and the ladies, it just won't happen again, And the thing was, those big muscle-bound, a couple of 3 trainers up there is calm when they want to train. But see, they make their money off of training other people. And it's like they don't care for anything to be calm for the people they train. And I don't like that. If you're going to take your ass in a gym and you are going to have a calm environment, I'm not saying no music. Well, yeah, I am. I'm saying no music. Music with earbuds on. If you want, Joe just said it, you want music, put earbuds on. However, some music is okay. You can't control the whole world. And I'm aware of that. But I told them guys, shame on you. And that people aren't, these big people, big, strong people in positions of authority, they're not used to being talked to regular like the rest of us are. That's why I make it a point to talk to them regular. And Joe, what you think would have happened when them big muscle heads got giddy with me?
We'd end up in the hospital.
You heard?
Ribs broken, a nose broken, jaw broke.
See, that's what would have happened. And we never want to go there, but that's who we are, and that's how we roll with it. You get crazy, I'm going to call it out, and that's the way it's going to be. You bite back on that with some more insanity, and something's going to happen. And I don't know why people can't figure that out. And this world's getting awful with things like that, where the respect and the love and the neighborliness is being thrown out the door. So We had that happen and a lot of other things. And while Joe's working out here, I'm going to be telling you, I don't think we're going to have the tournament. And I'm going to, we were getting all giddy thinking on the 21st, Joe would be able to go to a place called Tuna and clean some clocks and us come back to the house. Because I'm telling you, that's exactly what would happen. I said the other day, I told myself, I'm going to be nice about it and tell people, well, no matter what happens, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Get in with him, you're going to get beat up. That we're supremely confident in his work. And what little bit I have upstairs here to try to help him. And but anyway, I'll get into that a little bit. So it hasn't been a great day, and went through my head 10 times. Oh, we're not going to do nothing today. And it goes through my head all bad days I have. Oh, we're not going to do nothing today. But then I catch myself and I say what you should be telling yourself, which is champions keep training and keep going at superb sufficiency and ability during times of strife and trouble. That's what makes a champion separate from the rest of the pack. And that's why I'm superbly confident when I tell another fellow when he gets in the ring with my son here, now you're going to school. Whether the guy's been in this business 10 years or whether he's been in it 10 days or 10 months, makes no difference. It's going to be the same way every time. We can't even get sparring partners. Y'all know the drill. People that watch this channel, you know the drill. We can't even get enough sparring partners. And we're around all this Latin macho BS. And these damn people don't even have the guts up to getting into sparring with him. It's ridiculous. Anyway, you want to start?
Sure.
Hey, babies. So while Joe starts, I'm going to give you the story on the tournament. All right, there were like 3 tournaments. Joe got sent something, an advertisement for all 3 of them. They were in the area called Tunja in Colombia. And if you're unfamiliar with Tunja, a lot of people, and I believe have the false belief, because I don't believe that this actually happened, but they believe that after World War II, that Nazis and Hitler escaped to Tunja. So that there's a lot on that. Even the FBI said Hitler had been spotted in Tunja in released documents. So it's that place. So we get told, oh, they're going to have these 3. Now, Joe was literally invited for kickboxing, MMA, or boxing, regular boxing. Of course, y'all know what we chose, regular boxing. So, oh yeah, I'm going to get this set up for you. This has been something going on for 20 days plus days, right? All right, so we're waiting. And finally, this morning, I had to say, look, you need to get back with us. What's going to happen? And we get a half-hearted response back. Oh, well, this is taking place in Bogota. So it goes from being about 4.5, 5 hours away to being 8 or 9 hours away. 10 when you add up if you get into town in Bogota to get where you're going. Still don't have no address to where it was going to be. It's going to cost this amount of money to enter. I get an entrance fee. I understand that. But none of us can go with you and you're on your own. And that tells me right there, set up. So those of you that have been watching this channel, you know we've been set up a few times. One time Joe really got gassed out. It wasn't in an official amateur fight. Joe's won everything by leaps and bounds of that. All of that 21 times. but he got took to task in sparring. We got set up, and I ain't gonna go into how it started, but Joe hit the gym. Can you come in here right now and spar with me a little bit? And Joe gets in there with the guys claiming, "Oh, I got family here. I want them to watch." And that guy's been in there warming up, and it didn't go good for Joe, who was in there really not functioning very well. And Joe was 13 or 14 at the time. And this guy was 17, 18 years old. Joe was 13, I think. And Joe took a shellacking a little bit in that. Not a lot, not a lot. Joe's response to that was when we went back into the gym the next day, Joe told that guy, "You best be eating your Wheaties all week and getting yourself in order, because we're sparring Friday and I'm going full on your ass." And the kid was like, "No, I won't do that." And Joe ran him out of the boxing gym, and I ended up buckling up in front of everybody, a former IBF world champion, and threatening at well over 50 I was then, kicking this guy's ass. And he knew it. And he took my verbal assault in front of his whole gym, in front of all his boxers and everybody, because that's how I roll with it. And ain't nothing particularly bad or tough about me other than the ability for myself to get beat up and not being scared to death for that to happen. And I'm getting too old for this. And I never go around trying to pick fights, ever. However, my tolerance policy is damn near zero with anybody. And much less people that, I just associate with. And so anyway, this thing's 3.5 more hours further away than we were told. And it's just going downhill. So I told Joe, well, we'll still do it. You just go in there, because they, these people could put semen in their gloves and it's not going to work out to their advantage. I know most of you don't see that. I know what's going on around here, and I see it perfectly. So anyway, a lot of chaos with that. But I told Joe, I said, wait around. He said, "Oh, give me a few minutes and I'm going to give you the contact information, the address, the time, and everything else." Still ain't heard back from the guy, and this was 4 hours ago. So I'm fixing to let them know, you know what? We ain't doing that. And really, I wanted to do it. Joe really wanted to do it. And Joe's been like, saying, y'all don't get it. We enjoy competition. We enjoy stuff like that. My mother was raised with a brother in the house that was a major league baseball player, not minor league, major league. A guy that played with Yankees players in the majors that were friends of his, that household names that you guys would know who they are. And then her nephew, my cousin, that I had some fortunate of growing up with, another major league baseball player. And and we got a family full of Atlantic Coast Conference baseball umpires and things like that, college football, NCAA quarterbacks, defensive backs, running backs, a lot of stuff, guys. A professional wrestler in the family that you all know as Magnum TA, we all knew as Terry Allen. So you know, we're not on the same wavelength as most people, and I get that, and I know how we talk sounds very bold to a lot of people, and really we mean it to be bold, you know, but we enjoy competition, and Joe's been anchoring, and he's like, Dad, I got a lot of turmoil going on in me. I want to go beat somebody up. So we thought we were going to have the perfect opportunity where we could get 2 to 3 guys in one whack. And, but it didn't turn out that way, or it hasn't as of yet. Maybe it could still happen, but not very likely. So disappointed about that. We go into the gym, walk right in there, and it's like going into a rave with a bunch of people doing ecstasy and flipping out inside the gym. And I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, I'm going to hop off of that. Look, any of this stuff you can do. Joe's 17. He's right now, around 200 pounds here. He's 5'9", 5'9.5", somewhere in there. Big as all get out, and for his age, got a lot of man strength he shouldn't be having at this age. And you can have this too. You can have it too. In all my years, I never ran up on somebody as good as him at his age and his ages preceding this. And but it's took a whole lot. He got beat up for the first couple of months 3 times a week by a very, very good professional nationals champion Venezuelan fighter. And took to school, and that guy'd come in, and just like Flair, and just like I say, that man be telling him, now you're going to school, Joe. And he took you to school, didn't he, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
And the rest of the guys in there crying, moaning, complaining, but Joe left out of there with something bloody every 3 times a week, guys. And I had to see if he really loved this enough that he wanted to do it. And I'm telling you, if you are the scrawniest guy in your grade in middle school, high school, or whatever, you can be the toughest guy in your class. You may not be able to be the tallest. You may not be able to be the fastest. You might not, as hard as you may work, be able to be the strongest. But you can be the baddest in that class. You can be the toughest. And it's all about what do you want, and are you willing to put the work into it? You can be in college, same thing would apply. You can be, by the time you've hit 30 and you're no longer new to the workforce, you shouldn't be worrying about things like that. But maybe you in construction and the guys down there are giving you a hard time and this and that and the other. If you can do your job and do the best you can outside of it with this stuff, you can change your life. And I'm going to tell you something. The biggest thing we have up in our corner that people don't, Joe just said it, is God. And who is our Lord?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, see? And people don't like that, and they don't want to hear that. And, we don't really like that people don't want to hear that and don't like that. We wish everybody had our king in their corner. But that's one of the things that sets us leaps and bounds away from everybody else. We're not just giving lip service to it. We are what we call fighting Christians. in my home state, we had a university or a college. It was, the name of it was Elon College. Now it's Elon University. But back when they were a Christian college, which they used to be, their nickname was the Fighting Christians, and they won the NCAA Division 2 or 3 championships multiple times. Had the best football in the country for that division multiple times. And, they had to evolve, so they couldn't call themselves anything like that. It was too controversial. And that's the problem in Western society today. God has become controversial. Other gods are not controversial for some reason in the West. And I'll tell you that reason is because they are antichrist. They are of their father, the devil, like Christ said they were. So therefore it's okay to be something else. But the one true one where you're really going to strike a nerve with people, and maybe I strike a nerve with you, is when I say Christ is our King. We work too hard to kowtow. And I'll remind you folks, we were living in Colombia, South America. And I still walk as bold here, being the odd guy out around what these people are capable of, as I would in South Carolina or California or New York State. Or if I went to London, England, or Berlin, Germany, or anywhere else in this world. And we're going to continue to walk in boldness. And you should too. And if your king were as strong as our king, you'd be walking in boldness too. So anyway, didn't stay in the gym, boy. They started running to cut stuff down, but by that time I had done cracked on everybody. And I was like, Joe, let's go back to the house, because, I start getting angered that I have to crack on somebody. And the older I get, I'm going to tell you guys something. When I was younger, I'd crack on somebody, then I'd feel guilty about it. I don't do that no more. The guilt part I don't get no more. That don't happen with me no more. And if it's happening with you, that shame should be laid bare at the cross. That should be laid there. You shouldn't be walking around with that. If somebody's crossing you, it's called discernment. And we're supposed to do that with one another. And we're supposed to call one another out on mess like that. And I'm going to tell you, you might do something that hurts yourself. You may have a vice. Hell, I'm going to tell y'all something. I drank every day for 11 years. And when I say drink, I don't mean nursed a couple of martinis or nursed 2 or 3 beers a night. I mean, I got drunk. And sometimes I'd be functioning and functionable, and sometimes I wasn't. So I'm not talking from any high horse here at all. But I will tell you, even drunk, I never pounced on a man that didn't have it coming. Even sloppy drunk. I never went after the innocent. I never bothered another person that way. that did not have it coming. And where our rights are is I can do what I want to do. You can do what you want to do. But at the point where what I do is affecting you, the area around you or your life, is when I'm wrong. Or you to me, or any of us to anyone. And that seems to have been lost out. Everybody feels they got a right to be a certain way. Man walking around here with a damn wig on, demanding other people call him a woman because he believes it inside his sick head. No, we're not playing those games. We don't care who calls us what, who says this. You can come and you can offend us, but be careful with that because the face punching will come with concerns to us. It will happen. So, but I'm telling you, you can be anything you want to be. You can make what you want out of your life. You can pull yourself up out of the misery. You can bring yourself out of poverty. You can bring yourself out of addiction. You can bring yourself out of damn near anything with faith and your work ethic to carry you along. And if you can't, maybe you're disabled. Maybe you're in a wheelchair. Maybe you're paralyzed from the neck down. You can pull your mind out of it, see? You can pull your mind out of it. But there's a lot of things about us I don't choose to share online. I've been down every kind of road you can probably think of going down. I've been beat up. I've cowered down. I've ran away in my life. But once I learned to be strong and stand up and say to hell with all this hell, and I put armor on, I've toted the whoopings. I've went straight ahead at it. So, and it ain't like I'm 6'7" and Tyson Fury or Klitschko or Deontay Wilder or anything. I'm not a big guy, but I'm a fighter, and you can be too. And when I set my mind to a certain thing, it's like a steel trap, and I'll keep going till it's achieved. And Joe's the same way, and ain't no stopping him. Ain't no stop at all. He got right up in a 300-pound muscle bound's face today, and was like, you need to cut this shit out, and you need to do it now. And muscle man going, okay, man, okay. Because they get it. And that's the problem. A lot of people don't get it no more. They don't realize that the poop stinks until they're grabbed by the back of the head of the hair and got their face rubbed in it. And then a lot of them are carrying so much pride, as soon as they pull the head back, they'll say, I don't smell nothing. It's a sick, sick world that we live in. But the good, fortunate thing for us all that are the workers and the ones that'll keep pushing straight forward is we don't have the competition that was in this world 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Let me tell you all something. Over 50 years ago, when I was a boy turning to a man, or before even, or as I was becoming a man, this world was way different. You could offend somebody very easily. You walked around being careful how you talk to another human being, because you might get your teeth gone. And there wasn't no place to run to get teeth put in your face, to get them replaced like there is now. There was a lot of kids in my day walking around missing a tooth or three. And you knew it. You'd say, "Oh, that kid got his teeth knocked out," and it was a normal thing to see back in my day when I was a kid. And today, kid gets his teeth knocked out for hurting another kid. Mama and daddy's wanting to sue the good kid. They had to go down here and get brand new teeth put in, act like nothing skipped a beat. What, Joe?
And then liberals will set up a GoFundMe for the criminals.
Yeah, and Joe said the liberals will set up a GoFundMe for the bad ones. It's like that piece of junk stabbing that kid in Texas. That kid would have walked up on Joe like that. That thing would have got took away from that kid, and that kid would have been put in a box. That kid who had that knife would have been put in a box. And life works in funny ways, and that's probably why Joe's not sitting in the U.S. right now in a public school near you. Because it won't be safe for your kids with him in a public school if your kids are bullies or bad guys, mouth yappers and crazy. Not with this kid. And I'm telling you, at 17 years old, had this kid been with Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson got out of line, Mike Tyson's teeth would have been put in the back of his throat. And y'all don't see that, but I do. I got to be around for fleeting moments of about a day and a half around a 16-year-old Mike Tyson. And when I say that, I got to work in the gym with him and several of these other guys. And I'm telling you all, you just don't know. But you will know, as if Joe just decides to continue. You all gonna know who he is. You're all gonna know who he is. And you're going to see a day where Mike Tyson's going to say, "Yeah, I don't know if I could handle this guy or not." You'll see. You'll all see. And that's the problem. See, we know what we got while everybody else is running around in a pretend world that they are all this and all that and know all this and all that. And the reality of it is, the real reality of their life is they're not in reality. They're walking around in a fantasy land. And I would throw 3/4 of the professional world fighters in the group that I'm talking about, and you'll all see it. So, if you really want to know how Joe slings down, that in Billy would be the guy to go look at. Really, either one of those guys, but more like in Billy than Martinez. And I sat there and I watched Canelo Alvarez was looking up there at that screen while he was getting his hands taped. And he was like, "Oh boy, I ain't got nothing good coming for me, at my weight." Now, I don't know if I could get Joe down to, what were they at, 168, I think, 168 and a half. And I don't know I could get Joe down to that. But I think right now, today, I could. But, and it'd be bad news for any of them. But I could get Joe down to probably 175. Well, we know we could fight it that weight. And when I tell you Joe's a heavyweight, he's 201 plus. And if he's not 201 plus today or next week, he's walking 201 plus like Mike Tyson was. And Mike, up to, what is it, 201 to what? Did you see what it was before it goes into heavyweight?
I think it's 91 kilos.
Oh, it was like 190 something to 201 or 200 to 200 pounds. Yeah. And you go 201 plus and you're in super heavyweight. And Mike Tyson was in super heavyweight. So when you hear this bull this embellishment out of Teddy Atlas or the other guy, I forget his name, and Kevin Rooney. Mike Tyson was not 225 pounds when he was 15, 16 years old, like they say he was. Mike Tyson fought at 200 down to, I think it's 192. And you go back and you look at Mike Tyson in the amateurs and you'll see that. And Mike Tyson was able to put on about 5 pounds in between the amateurs and the professionals. And Mike Tyson was fighting at his best, at his heyday, best possibles at 205 to 210. And Joe's bigger right now than Tyson was at 16, 17 years old. Of course, y'all don't know that. You don't get to see it. You can't, if you did see it, you wouldn't believe it. You'll be in denial because reality's not what people get into. You done?
I'm gonna do some push-ups.
All right, he's going to do a few push-ups. You can sit here and watch him do that. I don't know how many I'm going to do here, but we're just always working, folks. And bold in it. And y'all are like, well, boy, he talks so strong. And I just tell you, yeah, I do. But I'm going to quit really trying to convince it. Joe's got, especially on his Facebook, he's got like 9 former world heavyweight champions. And he's got a bunch more former world heavyweight champions or sitting world champions right now on his Facebook. And they all look at him. I'm going to tell you somebody's really hot on. 2 people that, one of them's passed away, is Ernie Shavers. Ernie Shavers would sit and look at Joe videos and be like, oh man, boy, you got something with this kid. Somebody that looks at Joe now that's like, this kid's got it going, boy, goodness gracious, is what's the guy's name? The big fought Evander Holyfield. The guy that fought Evander Holyfield. See, I can't think real good, folks. Who was the guy's name? Everybody, my English friends say he avoided Lennox Lewis. What's the guy's name?
I can tell you one guy was bigger than him, George Foreman. I don't know.
Oh, well, that ain't George Foreman. It's the guy that talks back and forth with you on the privates. Riddick Bowe. Riddick. Joe. You go back and forth with him on the Facebook. Riddick Bowe was bigger than George Foreman, I think. Not a second George Foreman, but he was bigger than the first one. But Riddick Bowe's like, oh my gosh. And Riddick was really up on Joe when Joe was like 13, 14. And Riddick was telling Joe, oh, I was like 119 pounds or 122 pounds or something like that when I was 13. And I was just a little scrawny thing. And look at you, man. Look at you, boy. And, you know, so there's a lot of things we go back and forth with, what we have going on around here. Look, I got the fortunate of being able to work around Ace Miller, who trained Big John Tate, to be around Big John Tate when they'd come over to Charlotte. Who's Big John Tate? Former WBA World Heavyweight Champion. That's who Big John was. Got to meet the Cuban team that represented Cuba in the 1980 Olympics. Guys such as Teofilo Stevenson, to name the big star of it. Got to meet Jimmy Young, who was our heavyweight guy in 1980. A lot of those guys, those guys on the U.S. side, Carter boycotted the Olympics and they didn't get to go. And so a lot of people were lost out on the U.S. side at that point. And but I got to be around some exceptional people. So anyway, how many push-ups you gonna do? You got 60? Gonna do 75, or you think you can do 100, or just 75? All right, he's gonna do 100. He's got 60 right now. I'm gonna sit here for that time, and then I'm gonna get off of here. You guys know that watch us, that when we're at the house, you get a good long talking to. Some of you like it, some of you don't. When we're in the gym, it's not much talking to you, but we loved the escape that we got on that fight card this weekend. The first portion of the undercard, the main event undercard, all of it. We loved it. It was a good escape for us for all this trouble that's been going on in the world, all the death and destruction that's been happening in the West. And we're thankful for it. And we were sitting watching these fights, and I was telling Joe, I'd tell you to do this, I'd tell you to do that. And Joe's sitting there, Dad, you're right. If this guy would do this, it'd change the whole complexion here. And it's good to sit and talk shop. And Joe's like, yeah, and what if the guy did this? And I'm like, yes, son, that'd work too. And I'm going to tell you, Bud Crawford's corner, that Bojack has got it going on. A lot of people give this guy grief. He's a big guy. And that guy has a brain. Let me tell you about it. He's a thinker in the sport. And like Bud Crawford, he hasn't got the credit he deserves. I know everybody likes Bud likes Tank Davis a lot in the U.S. I like Tank Davis a lot too, but Bud Crawford is the man. He is the man in the U.S. And Joe wants to get back home, bring every belt in a division back to the U.S. Why would he not? And if you're in the U.S., you should want that too, because I'm telling you, other than a couple of bright spots, boxing is awful in the U.S. I told everybody before these last Olympics, I said, if we get one bronze medal, it'll be a miracle. A miracle, and everybody's laughing at me. These big hot shots in Boxing USA, you don't know what you're talking about. We didn't win no medal. I was right all along, and I've been right all along. I haven't grew with this world. And these older guys in boxing have grown with this world. I haven't. So Joe's done with this. We're going to let you guys go. It's a good little workout to be doing. You can do it at home if you got some dumbbells. I want to tell you something. Christ is King, Lord, and Savior up in here with us. All our shortcomings, all our, what a lot of you would consider abrasiveness or whatever. We love God up in this house, and as imperfect and fallible as we are, our King is the best. We walk in that glory, and therefore we know we walk in this boldness. And the rest of you are saying, well, don't be so bold. Be more humble. That's good for football and soccer. That ain't so good for what we do. And be bold is what we're telling you. Christ is King, Lord, and Savior up in here. We hope he is up in where you are. And if he's not, we unapologetically tell you we hope that he will be. And we hope everybody has a great week. We're going to get right back at it in the gym tomorrow. We love y'all. Outwork everybody. Take the rest of the guys to school. Keep moving forward. We love you guys.